What's up, everyone? This week we're covering February 17th through February 21st, 2026. The S&P 500 closed at 6909, the Nasdaq at 22,086, and the Dow at 49,625. The Nasdaq snapped a 5-week losing streak, which was a relief for many investors. The S&P 500, however, is still roughly flat for the year. The biggest story this week was Friday's Supreme Court ruling. The court struck down Trump's emergency tariffs in a 6-3 decision, ruling the executive branch overstepped its authority. This could mean refunding up to $175 billion. In already collected tariffs, Amazon and Home Depot both jumped over 2% on the news. But Trump almost immediately announced a new executive order, imposing a flat 10% global tariff through a different legal route. Tariff uncertainty is still very much alive. Wednesday brought the Fed minutes from the January FOMC meeting. The tone was hawkish. Most officials agreed to hold rates steady, but several didn't rule out future hikes if inflation stays stubborn. The Fed funds rate sits at 3.5 to 3.75%. Markets are pricing in 1 to 2 cuts this year, but the Fed isn't committing until inflation moves convincingly toward that 2% target. Thursday was Walmart's Q4 earnings. Revenue and earnings both beat expectations, but the full-year EPS guidance of $2.75 to $2.85 came in well below Wall Street's estimate of $2.96. Shares dropped over 2% pre-market. Most analysts aren't panicking, though. Walmart is known for setting conservative guidance and then beating it. The stock is still up 21% over the past 12 months and recently crossed the $1 trillion market cap mark for the first time. Now the number that surprised everyone. Q4 GDP came in at just 1.4% annualized. Wall Street was expecting 3%. That is a massive miss and a sharp drop from Q3's 4.4%. Economists pointed to the federal government shutdown as the main reason. Meanwhile, core PCE inflation is still at 3.0% year over year, well, above the 2% target, slow growth and sticky inflation at the same time. That is the stagflation combination nobody wants to see. On the individual stock side, NVIDIA was in the spotlight all week. Meta announced plans to deploy millions of NVIDIA chips, and CEO Jensen Huang called demand for the Blackwell platform explosive. Earnings are next Wednesday, February 25th after the bell. Biotech Grail cratered 47% after its cancer detection. Drug failed phase 3 trials. Qualcomm dropped 9.5% on weak guidance. Amazon gained about 2% after Bill Ackman disclosed. He raised his stake by 65% in Q4. Looking ahead, all eyes are on NVIDIA earnings Wednesday, February 25th. We also have reports from Home Depot, Alibaba, and Salesforce, plus consumer confidence and new home sales data. Tariff uncertainty, sticky inflation, and slowing growth are the 3 themes driving this market. NVIDIA's report could shift the entire tone. Nothing here is financial advice. Always do your own research. We'll see you next week.